other book, 10 Systems That Demons Control and How to Defend Yourself. It is hard not to be attached to this existence, but as one great teacher taught us, detachment is freedom. Remember that creation created this mechanism, and only creation can completely dismantle it. We've talked about how the mechanism has a sacred order. It needs to contain all of its people that deserve that kind of reality, just as it contained the Nazis. So your goal of destroying an immortal beast, the ultra powerful system that can control your thoughts and actions, is a silly feat of going against the nature of creation, although that is exactly what is required. Going against the nature or the flow or what the intentions of the mechanism is exactly what is required. Your attempts are going to be regarded as crazy or useless, and in the most cases, as most of the heroes in history, their lives are going to be destroyed. Even if you succeed, the sickness will continue in order to appease the masses that deserve such reality. The response of the beast to your advances. The members of this established parasitic society or its slaves are going to mock your single step. They are going to sabotage your work and progress because you are doing the same to their existence. You're actually messing around with their power. That you are challenging a system that is omnipotent, just as many of the heroes have done. Their survival depends on it, but we already know that creation, that's not the purpose of creation. Creation actually wants the opposite. This world is only a fantasy of many other fantasies, but our fantasy currently perpetuates itself because we cannot graduate from its ignorance. To the established disorder, you are going to appear as disorder also. In other words, your crazy ideas are not going to be regarded as illuminated. They are actually going to be dismissed. To the established disorder, you are going to appear as disorder also, just as Martin Luther King was thought of as a person who was here to create all kinds of mischief and all kinds of great disorder. Their laws, criminal systems, financial and mental systems support them, and will continue to do so until creation allows the continuation of that reality or dimension. To an observer, it might appear as defeat. We are going back to the idea of winning by actually losing your desire to win. To an observer, it might appear as defeat. All of this is perfectly normal and in fact expected, as it is in the case of many of the heroes of history, who had nations, agencies, clans, kings and empires, fathers, mothers and immediate family as their enemy, to prevent them from reaching liberty or freedom from the mechanism. Yet still, with great odds, they became such a person. Their work was then packaged, tainted, and presented as a version easily digestible for the human animals, its parasites, its demented beings, so that they could understand it, so that they could continue their enslavement of these souls. They achieved freedom from the mechanism's illusions by overcoming the sickness. That is talking about the heroes of the world, the redeemers that are just crazy enough to go against the flow of creation itself. Not just from this reality, but similar future realities that the beast can present. doesn't matter what reality they manifest on. A redeemer is a redeemer. The beast always survives to do the will of creation. To those lucky enough to challenge the beast, the courageous, who looked darkness in the eye and defeated it, these heroes have earned their freedom. Does it mean that all the inhabitants of the reality which the beast controls become free also? Not necessarily. Some continue to feed the beast as well. So the question is, why would a sacred beast give freedom to all its slaves when it survives just the opposite? I'm going to share another paragraph from a book titled "Let There Be Choice, the Greatest Gift." This is the magical complexity of creation, a cosmic dance of creation and destruction, order and disorder, black and white, sun and darkness. The greatest gift given to us is to choose your freedom, whether it be freedom to take the road never traveled, freedom from the herd, freedom to design your own path, or freedom from the need to exist. It offers you a choice, the greatest gift to humankind. You lose even the freedom to lose yourself, to be the master of your own life, because most of us are the mechanism is our master. Even the evil labyrinth of the mechanism as a revolutions offers us a choice to be human or to be animals. The choice is always there for all its demons, animals, and humans. What freedom is and what it is not. Are you fighting for freedom right now? Did you delude yourself into thinking that you are a free individual? Do you not see the cage? Freedom is earned. Freedom is a fight. Freedom is a bloodbath. Freedom is a path. Freedom is unique. Freedom is rejection. Freedom is experienced, earned. Freedom is not a possession that if you keep it safe, then you always have freedom. Freedom is not a jet that can take you places. Freedom is certainly not attainable by doing nothing. And freedom is certainly not attainable by following the herd or the mechanism. Freedom is not carrying or waving a flag of which the mechanism has created to create divisions, to create the internals and externals, this country and that country, and then the battle that it contains. To understand better this paradox, it is better to say that the real battles of our lives are always available for us to fight for a worthy cause, as long as we do not become complacent parasites or animals void of intelligence. In other words, we all want to interact with God in a very in a good manner. But what happens when God presents Himself as a beast? It is better to say that the real battles of our lives are always available for us to fight for a worthy cause, as long as we do not complacent parasites, as long as we do not become complacent consumers, complacent blinded slaves. A lot of people go on to fight battles which are a complete waste of time, when the real battles of our lives are always available for us to fight, and those and that battle is has to do with the mechanism. The weapons, ideological and physical, available to the awakened are always granted to those that have the right intentions. Weapons, tools, and resources to overcome anything, any mechanism, any single person or existence as a whole. Then you could operate in this world by participating in it, but be independent of its chains. Be free from its sickness as much as you can, in a way that is aligned with your intelligence, not established systems of enslavement. I want to share another paragraph from my book, The Modern Hero. As you walk in your path that is in alignment with creation, your path will be deviated. This is all normal. This has been happening all your life. It will drug you, the mechanism will drug you, rob you, mistreat you, abuse you, deform you, exploit you, break you piece by piece, mock you, and desert you. And this is because of our previous transgressions. We are not in paradise. We are not here to live on the beach and take the rest of our lives bathing in the sun. No. The mechanism will do all these things to you because we actually deserve it. We actually deserve our own misery because we are too afraid of our own liberty. You do not need to belong to the sickness, which sometimes it translates in the form of total seclusion or total rejection of the mechanism's world. You understand your humanity will make you err at times, and you must be at ease with your limitations and separate yourself from mistakes, as it is usually the work of the mechanism. Do not fear, it is attached to you and not the opposite. It has fallen in love with you in a way that is unhealthy. You are its obsession, and it loses its allure, and as it loses its allure, the path to freedom becomes clear. In its show of power, it might grant you initial rewards to entangle you again. But you are beyond it. It is also very egotistic, and it cannot comprehend how one single entity or a hero, let's say Jesus, Buddha, or Lao Tzu, or all of these great redeemers, it cannot completely comprehend how they can surpass all this great fantasy, all this great illusion. Its dominion in all of its humans, human animals, demons, and beasts were not able or sufficient enough to keep you entangled in its web of entertained misery. I want to share another paragraph from my book, The Mechanism of Creation in Relation to Our Current Manifestation, which you can order now. And this paragraph talks about leverage, how the mechanism produces leverage when it doesn't have any. In the mechanism's eyes, you are a threat that must be eliminated. Jesus must be eliminated. All the, for example, let's say a racist nation considers another nation slaves, and so in that way this person will must I am getting ahead of myself. In the mechanism eyes, you are a threat that must be eliminated, and at the very least handicapped by whatever means. It cannot win or resort to truth. Lies are its ultimate weapon. Entanglement are its ultimate weapon, which it will manufacture using the systems it controls. The order you bring will have to look and be presented as disorder. Freedom from its world will be seen as slothfulness. It will be made to look as the antithesis, or a parasite in the mechanism's eyes, or in its hordes of puppets. The leverage it has over other beasts it does not have with you. It must create this leverage in the form of forced action. One single way out, one that will be your doom. And you must not only resist it, but outsmart it. And you do this with the help of creation. If you are smart, then you are not interested in $1 million home, a Ferrari, a significant other to love you, and the need of offspring is no longer a desire to be used against you. You have also addressed your mortality and the need to exist. All of these desires are used as leverage to beat you into submission to the wills of the magical beast. The mechanism will continue to label you as the threat that must be addressed with all resources until you become no longer